In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my exact Google Ads account structure. This is a structure we use over at my Google Ads agency as well for our clients. If you are interested in that, I'll leave a link to our agency's website down below. We work with all types of e-commerce businesses. We manage and scale Google and Bing ads for them. So if you are interested in us doing that for you, head over to the link in the description and fill out the contact form at the bottom of the website. Now, I always get questions in my DMs about different campaign types, people asking how they should structure their Google ad account, and this is the same with many other ad platforms as well. But in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down how I like to structure my ad accounts within Google, not only for simplicity but for also optimum performance. Now, for the purpose of this video, we will be taking a look at my USA business rather than my UK one, just because it does spend a little bit more than the UK one and there's no need to show more than one for a single video. And like I said, this particular structure is something we are now implementing at our agency with our clients as well. Now, I'm going to split this up into different sections. We're going to look at shopping, search, and other areas as well. Now, hopping into my ad account now, you can see if we just switch over to last 30 days, these are the numbers we're currently running on my USA business. Just shy of £30,000 in ad spend last 30 days with a 3.2 ROAS, something I'm very pleased with at this scale. And obviously the purpose of this is to look at the structure. You can see we've got 5 Performance Max campaigns, we've got 4 search campaigns and 1 display campaign here. I'm going to be breaking down exactly why I've got 5 PMax campaigns, what products are in which, and how to segment them and things like that. Now, out of these 5 Performance Max campaigns, 2 of them only have a single product in them. These are 2 of my best sellers. I have 2 that are the bucket style campaigns that have several products within them, and I have another one which has other winning products in but of a higher ticket price that sell for a lot more than any other product on my store. Now, the reason I like to separate these campaigns rather than having everything in a single PMax campaign is because it allows me to manage them more efficiently and set different goals based on a product selling price essentially and the profit margin. So for example, with my higher ticket campaign, it's got about 3 or 4 products within it that are, like I said, selling for a much higher than price than any other product on my store, and because of this I get a much higher return on ad spend for these products and this campaign. So it allows me to set a higher target ROAS on this campaign, whereas the other ones I'll need to set a lower target ROAS because simply the product price are much lower. Now, this isn't the only reason I like to segment them. Other reasons include budget. You can manage your budget a lot more efficiently when you do separate your products out, especially for these single product campaigns. And during Q4, for me personally, it allows me to allocate more budget towards single products or certain groups of products if you like to split your campaigns that way. And another great reason to have single product campaigns for your winning products with PMax, it just allows you to scale one a lot easier because you're not having other products interfere with the potential winner or the winning product you've got. For example, you might have a winning product in your PMax campaign that's doing really well, but the other products in that campaign might not do as well or might just be performing badly. So that will drag the overall performance and ROAS of that campaign down. Whereas if you have only that single product in its own campaign, it is going to fly, it is going to scale much quicker, easier, and will probably provide you with more consistent results, as opposed to if you had it mixed in with a load of other products. Like I said, that may drag down the performance of the overall campaign, potentially leading to less ad spend and things like that. Now, the 2 bucket campaigns I refer to are these 2 I've highlighted here. You can see one has spent 5.7k and one 4.6 in the last 30 days. Now, there are quite a lot of products in each of these campaigns, and the way I've split and decided which products are in which, one of them is essentially a campaign with proven products that provide me with consistent sales, not necessarily winning products that you can scale to, you know, extreme numbers, but these are products that sell a few times a day, month by month, all year round on a very consistent basis. And that particular campaign is this top one here with a bit of a higher ad spend. There is about 12 products in this campaign, and again, like I said, they all generate me sales year round on a very consistent basis. Now, the other campaign here, I like to call this either a test campaign or a revival campaign. You can mix the 2 together, but essentially any new product you add to your store will go into this test or revival campaign. Essentially products that haven't proven themselves as winners just yet. Like I advocate in most of my videos, if a product is performing poorly on Google, I never kill it straight away. I like to test so many other things within that product to potentially make it a winner. That could be testing a new price point, product image, landing page, and things like that. So all of those types of products that aren't quite performing very well go into this campaign, and that's why it's got a bit of a lower lower ROAS than, well, pretty much every other PMax campaign here. But the goal is to make some of these products winners again, and when they start providing consistent results in this campaign, I then move them over to the other bucket, Performance Max campaign, where that product will then sit amongst other consistent products. And similarly with the single product campaigns, if you've got a product in this campaign with other poor performing products, but this other product is doing well, you won't be able to get the most out of it if you keep it amongst these other poor performing products, which is why when a product starts to do well in this campaign, I move it out into another campaign so it can sit amongst other products that do perform well. For the exact reason, it allows me to scale that product a little bit more, and there won't be other products in that campaign dragging it down. Now, just to touch back on the single product campaigns, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people have done this for years with standard shopping, but again with Performance Max, it allows me to scale without interference from other products, allows me to set a target ROAS for that product specifically. Again, same with budget. And when you have a winning product, you will want to test more audience signals, creatives, assets within your PMax campaigns. You will typically have a lot more asset groups for these single products. And again, without the interference of other products, it just allows you to analyze your data, test, pick winners so much easier than if it were in a campaign, you know, with 10, 20, 50 other products, for example. Now, the final section of shopping is going to be my higher ticket campaign. Some of you might not need a campaign like this, but for me, I do, because these products, like I said, they sell for a lot more than any other item on my store. And this particular campaign is the biggest spender for my USA business. Now, typically with this campaign, I have a much higher target ROAS, somewhere around 400%, whereas all these other campaigns, you can see if we go over to average target ROAS, you can see they are anywhere from 250 to sort of 300%. Now, the last 30 days, I have tested my higher ticket one on a 300% target ROAS. I dropped it to try and scale essentially a spend more. This didn't really work. So if we go back here and change, you can see 3.18 ROAS for the last 30 days. Let's just do year to date. It should be somewhere near a 4 ROAS. Yeah, you can see 3.7. So other than the last 2 or 3 weeks, this campaign has sat at about 400% target ROAS. You can see the average just below 400, and that's because obviously the 300% I recently set has dragged that down. But you get the idea here. Having these higher ticket products in its own campaign has allowed me to set a higher target ROAS and essentially get a higher ROAS overall because of that. And yes, in some cases, having one PMax campaign is very good, especially in the earlier stages. I have taught this in one of my videos. If you're making that transition from standard shopping or back last year smart shopping into PMax, it can be very effective to have all your products in one PMax campaign, because then that's almost the start of your journey to having a structure like this. Over time, you'll start to pull products out into their own single product campaigns, higher ticket ones, and so on and so forth. So this particular strategy isn't something you necessarily need to implement overnight. If you do, it's not going to necessarily provide you with instant results. In fact, it probably won't. The idea of this is to work towards a structure like this within your campaign, or should I say ad account. So if you're watching this video and you have a single PMax campaign right now with all your products within it, don't panic, let it run, gather data, because the more it will spend, the more you will know and understand which products belong in their single product campaign, which products will need to be in a different campaign with a higher target ROAS. So that's definitely something to bear in mind, and just don't go completely changing the entire structure of your ad account immediately. Work towards this. That's exactly what I've done, and it is working pretty well so far. Now, the shopping side of things, Performance Max side of things, is 90% of your account spend anyway, typically for an e-commerce business. So just to touch on a couple more areas, we've got dynamic remarketing, something that is very effective, especially when you have your conversion tracking set up correctly. Like I say every single video, if you've not got your conversion tracking down to a T and you think it might not be working correctly, please drop my developer a message on Fiverr. I'll leave a link to him down below. He'll fix it. He'll sort anything out with regards to Google conversion tracking very quickly. He's done it for my clients, my own businesses. Highly recommended. Anyway, dynamic remarketing, it's only a small portion of your budget, but it essentially keeps your brand name, your products, the brand awareness at a high level. When it comes to existing warm traffic, your ads will display on websites like Gmail or any website you can think of on the Google Display Network, where you might be on a blog website and they'll have Google Ads placements down the sides. Odds are, if someone's visited your website, your ads will then appear in front of these people as they surf the web for any other reason. So it may not directly give you a huge return on ad spend. You can see year to date for me, let's just change this column here, the actual ROAS for my dynamic remarketing, only 220%. content. This is still profitable for me because my break-even ROAS is about a 1.6 for this business. So it's still nicely profitable, but don't necessarily expect huge ROAS directly from this campaign. It just keeps people informed about your business and essentially keeps it in their mind, because eventually the more times they see your ads, even subconsciously, it will overall increase the chances of them coming back and converting on your website. So if you've not implemented dynamic remarketing, make sure you do so. I haven't done a video on that yet, but it is something I can definitely do if enough people ask me for it. And the final type of campaign we're going to be talking about is search. Now, very quickly, brand search campaigns. If we just go over to my brand search campaign for year to date 2023, 13 ROAS. Obviously it's absolutely ridiculous. This will be the campaign that gets you the highest ROAS. Daily spend, you can see it's really not much, you know, £10, 15, you know, it might go up to like 30, 40 pound a day. But overall, you can't scale this. It scales with the amount of people that are aware of your brand. So let's say you're running an extreme amount of traffic from Facebook ads. You might want to have a quite high budget for your brand search campaign, because a lot of people will go from Facebook to Google your brand name, and you want to make sure you are appearing at the top there. But it's worth having one of these running, even if it's just $5 a day, to make sure you are appearing when people search your brand, because otherwise, believe it or not, your competition, once they see you competing with them on other websites like Facebook or shopping, they will run ads to your brand name as well. So make sure you do that. Now finally is just general search campaigns. Not something we've managed to scale hugely yet for e-commerce businesses, but nonetheless, again, for my USA business year to date, you can see on your screen 3.5k ad spend, 2.2 ROAS. Like I said earlier, break even ROAS about a 1.6, so this is nicely profitable. And the way we build our search campaigns, we use our Performance Max insights, because eventually they will start to tell you which keywords and which search terms are converting in your PMax campaigns. It will give you lists of hundreds of keywords. We basically take those best performing ones, make search ads with those as the target, and it's a good way to get some extra traffic and sales to your site. Now obviously you'll not be able to see the campaign ad group names here because they'll be blurred out because they're my product names, but you can see some are getting a nice higher ROAS, 2.7, 3.7 here. These are all individual product ad groups that, like I said, will target the keywords that the PMax insights are giving us. Now you can scale these in terms of getting much more traffic by using bid strategies like maximized clicks, but just to sort of ground them, for me personally, I've gone with the target ROAS bid strategy. But Q4, Q3 sort of time of year, I will probably lean over to manual bidding so I could bid higher, because people for these sorts of products will naturally convert better towards the end of the year. But overall, this really doesn't take up much of the account spend at all with search. It's just